monster? We all go a little mad sometimes.
You won and I died!
I feel a woozy air. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
How's it hanging, Phil?
What's the front time, bitch?
Come and get it! So either put the gun down now, or kiss your ass goodbye.
Let's get this party started.
I agree, Dana. Let's get this party started. So, welcome back to Sledgehammer Horror, guys. I am Ken Sledge.
And I'm Ashley Sledge.
And let's talk horror. So, let's talk horror or not.
Or not.
So, today we're going to be talking about different movies and whether we consider them to be horror or not. And for every movie we talk about, we're also going to put up a poll. That way we can see what you guys think. If you guys think these movies are horror movies or not. Because we tried to get some tricky ones here. That's what we were really hoping for. So, real quick, let's catch up on the chat. I'm going to be driving for the first part, so I shall say hello. Well, hello. Big Rod.
Drive
Please
safe.
drive safe. Ryan, how you doing?
Hey, Ryan.
Brad, good
Hey,
evening.
Brad.
Congratulations on the new job, Anthony.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Paige, good evening.
Hey, Paige.
Gory,
What's up,
what
Glory?
up? What's up, guys? How you doing, Sam
Hey,
and Brendan?
guys.
Hello, Jeannie.
Hello.
Nicholas, good
Hello,
evening.
Nicholas.
Lil Boozy.
Hey, little Boozy.
Aloha, fellow hammerheads. Troy, how you doing?
Hey, Troy.
Happy early birthday. So like I said, we really wanted to have fun with this one. We tried to, and if you guys have some movies, please let us know. But we're going to start this one off with Prisoners. Do you guys think Prisoners is a horror movie or not? Now, I'm going to pull up the synopsis of the film real quick. I want to say this was 2012, 2013.
Yeah, I was going to say 2013.
So, oh my God. I don't want a synonym. Keller Dover faces a parent's worst nightmare when his 6-year-old daughter Anna and her friend go missing. The only lead is an old motorhome that had been parked on their street. The head of the investigation, Detective Loki, arrests the driver, but a lack of evidence forces Loki to release his only suspect. Dover, knowing this is his daughter's life at stake, decides he has no choice but to take matters into his own hands. So, movie stars Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Paul Dano.
Such a great
amazing
list
cast.
of actors.
So we want to know from you guys, do you think Prisoners is a horror movie or not? So far with the, we're 50-50 right now. Oh, we're 60-40 on the poll now. I'm going to go with yes. I think Prisoners is a horror movie. Not only the real life horror of losing a child or a child being kidnapped, but what he does to Paul Dano's character is extremely terrifying.
It's almost like, it's like you get it, but at the same time, like you feel so guilty for him because, you know, I don't know if they don't really say like if he's on the spectrum or
he's definitely not completely there.
Yeah, like he obviously has some issues, and his mentation is more like a child than an adult man.
And Brad is right. The torture scene is rough.
It really is. You're like, okay, I get it. You want your kid back. I get it. But at the same time,
even
like, you
Terrence
don't even
Howard,
know.
Terrence Howard, who is the other dad.
Yeah,
he's like, what are you doing?
Like he couldn't handle it anymore. Like he didn't want to be involved in that. Like that's not the way they are get your
and even
kids
I believe he even says that. He goes, this isn't the way we do this.
Yeah.
You know, like it's
it definitely is like a real life horror. That's a real life anxiety. That's really scary, and not knowing where one of your loved ones are, one of your children.
And especially the part for me that always messes me up is when he grabs him outside and Paul Dano's character says, they didn't cry until I left them.
Yeah, it's like, oh, like what does that mean?
Yeah, they didn't cry until I left them. Like, ooh, that's rough.
But really, the ending for me, like the anxiety of she got the poison, like, are we gonna get her to the hospital in time? because he was the one trying to drive her to the hospital, and he was like,
and he's fucked up. He was
Yeah.
shot.
and he can barely see, and it was storming. This was around like Christmas time,
Yeah.
so it was storming, and like that whole part is very intense. So yeah, it's definitely a real life horror.
Well, at the end of that poll, Prisoners with you guys, 72% say Prisoners is a horror movie.
All right.
Good evening, T. Parker.
Hey, T. Parker.
Nice to see you. Brian, hello.
Hello, Brian.
What's up, Nathan?
Nathan.
Oh, bro, you gotta watch it, man. Never seen Prisoners.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta check it out, brother. Hello.
Hey,
we are
Adrian.
both good. We just got back from dinner. Had a nice dinner with some family and friends. It was really awesome. I don't consider it a horror movie, but it makes me feel depressed. Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Dark ending, too.
Yeah, it definitely is dark.
Yes. What's up, Eli?
Hey, Eli.
Scary in the sense of what a father will do to find their kids.
Mhm.
Movies for real, you're not lying. It's terrifying. I fucking love Prisoner, dark movie, but probably my favorite Hugh Jackman role, Us Too.
Mm-hmm.
I love Prisoners. Brendan showed it to me a couple years ago. We love this movie.
We went and seen it in the theater because that's, thinking about it, that's a trailer that we should visit.
I would love to do that.
Because that really
Revisit that trailer.
Yeah, I remember watching that trailer and I was like, we have to go see this movie.
We were both super excited the first time we saw the trailer. We both love Jake Gyllenhaal. We both really love Terrence Howard.
Mm-hmm.
I think Terrence Howard's one of the people for me that has no misses. I don't think there's ever been something Terrence Howard's done where I've been like, this was bad.
Right.
Everything Terrence Howard is in.
He's great.
He is. He's absolutely phenomenal. And I love Terrence Howard in almost everything he's in. I think that he really knows how to bring emotion out of you.
Yeah, for sure.
Showed my girl the movie for the first time, and the whole time she was like, this is awful. Heartbreaking.
Yeah. It is on both sides. It's heartbreaking.
Why are you following me when you could be finding my daughter? Like, oh, that whole shit. Love Dark Skies.
Yeah.
We loved Dark Skies. I thought that movie was fantastic. So Prisoners did get a yes.
Horror.
Now
So
we're going to try a little bit of a trickier one now. Now we are going with RoboCop.
Yes.
So, your opinion, horror movie or no?
So I would not say it's necessarily horror. I think it has horror adjacent, like RoboCop is almost like a new age Frankenstein. There's a lot of like horror aspects to it, like they purposely kill a man just to make this prototype. Like that's obviously, it has horror related issues in it, but a complete horror movie, I would say no.
Right. I'm going to read the synopsis, just like I did for Prisoners. In a violent, near-apocalyptic Detroit, boo.
It's always like that.
And it's set in present day. Evil corporation Omni Consumer Products wins the contract for the city government to privatize the police force. To test their crime-eradicating cyborgs, the company leads street cop Alex Murphy into an armed confrontation with crime lord Bodiger, Kurtwood Smith. Tigers are playing tonight.
He's so good.
Never miss a game. So they can use his body to support their untested RoboCop prototype. But when RoboCop learns of the company's nefarious plans, he turns on his master. And I will say, your move, creep. Dead or alive, you're coming with me. What is the thing that comes in? It's got the rockets on both hands. Or
the cyborg.
Yeah, what's it called? It's not Dick Jones is the bad guy, but
yeah.
What's the gosh, this is really driving me nuts. Does anybody in the chat know? Because I can't think of what it is. Sadly, no, too much action. Getting a lot of no's on this one. RoboCop. Bad cyborg, maybe? Ed 209.
Yeah.
Ed 209. That's his name. Ed 209 scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Well, I mean, it's just like a friggin' robot with a ton of like guns on it. Yeah.
And the part where, yep, Ed 209. Thank you guys. Troy said it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sorry. When they dip the guy into the toxic waste, he comes up almost like a fish man. So I agree that there's definitely horror adjacent moments in this movie.
Or when those bad guys are like going after that woman and
oh, when they're trying to sexually,
like
that's terrible.
That is horrible.
That's the dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Mm.
But when they're shooting at Murphy, when they blow his hand off, like, ooh, that shit is gnarly. So, wow. Overwhelmingly in this poll, RoboCop is 79%. Oh, it went down to 68. 68% not a horror movie. So, let me pull up the synopsis for our next movie. This one, you guys better agree with me on this one. First, I'm going to catch up. We will catch up on the chat. Chills. Yeah, absolutely. When he's doing the, why aren't you fighting my dog? Oh, so good. I call it action. I'm with you. I say action with horror adjacent moments. You got to check it out, Sam. So good. It's in a league of its own. Sci-fi action. Sadly, no, but it's close. Too much action for me to consider it a full horror. Terminator is more. We didn't even put Terminator on this.
I feel like everybody knows.
We've argued. It's so dystopian. It has dark comedy elements. As a kid, my favorite parts: RoboCop. The wild. I'd buy that for $1. The commercials is so good. Yes, it was Ed 209. Thank you guys. That was driving me nuts. If Arnold Schwarzenegger produced a Neo Noir, that's actually a really good call. It's fun though. I do like RoboCop a lot. RoboCop No has horrific elements, but the tone is not horror at all. Okay. So now with this next movie, let me get everything loaded up. All right. So the next one that you want to announce it, babe?
Seven. Yes, the next one is 7.
So the synopsis is 7. When retiring police detective William Somerset tackles a final case with the aid of newly transferred David Mills, they discover a number of elaborate and grisly murders. They soon realize they are dealing with a serial killer who is targeting people he thinks represents one of the 7 deadly sins. Somerset also befriends Mills' wife, Tracy, who is pregnant and afraid to raise her child in a crime-riddled city. So, do you guys consider 7 a horror movie? I'll start with you this time, babe.
Yeah, I think it's a horror thriller. It definitely has disturbing, sadistic deaths. The sloth they leave there to starve to death, like that is horror.
Not only that, but that's one of the greatest jump scares of all time.
Yeah, when you see that this thing is still alive. Yeah, and it looks so creepy and disgusting and disturbing. So
fun fact, the first time I ever seen this movie was when I was getting this tattoo right here.
Yeah.
We were getting this tattoo and the guy was like, I'm going to throw on this movie, which this is a used tattoo for anybody that knows the band The Used.
That's like a used tattoo. No,
that's our buddy Chatham. But yeah, I just remember being blown away and I jumped and Sam Rowe was like, dude. And I was like, I'm sorry, man. Yeah. Like, you shouldn't have picked this movie.
It was like in his garage or something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. He did a great job.
He did. Long time ago, things we did.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, absolutely yes. This is a horror movie. Everything. I mean, it's become its own meme now. You know, what's in the box?
What's in the fucking box?
But the first time I saw that scene, my heart broke. And one of my favorite cinematic moments to this day is when Brad Pitt looks down and you think he's going to let him go, but you have the split scene flash of Gwyneth Paltrow, of Tracy. Just that flash real quick. And he looks up and he just lights him up. And he's even telling Kevin Spacey, become Wrath. You know, like, you're like, oh, I love it so fucking much.
He got you. Like, he got you to go to that place.
Yeah. And he didn't know that she was pregnant.
Right. I know. That's what I'm saying.
And he's like, but the baby inside her. And Brad Pitt gives that head to, he didn't know. And he's just so, oh, God, it's such a great, great movie. Let's see if people agree. Thriller, but yes, horror. Oh, 1 trillion% a horror movie. Hell yes, no brainer. Are you kidding me? What's in the box? What's in the fucking box? I can't take anyone serious if they don't think Seven's. If they don't think Seven's a horror film.
You almost said Slevin.
Slevin, I almost said it too. Not only a horror thriller, but also has religious elements which are used horrifically, and there's no hero, no redemption. Great, great call. There's no hero in this movie.
No.
You're right. Yes, 100%. Like Silence of the Lambs, they got labeled a thriller for being too good to associate with us lowlives. It's exactly what it is.
Absolutely. They definitely do. They put it in the same category as like The Silence of the Lambs.
Right. And I also agree Silence of the Lambs is a horror movie.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. Wait, do we have that on?
We don't have that on here.
Oh, I think that was
the last one we did. Did you see that Gwyneth Paltrow wore a box on her head to a house? Oh, that's amazing.
That is awesome.
That's great.
I love that.
I love that the killer reveals himself early on. Oh, yeah, when he comes into the police station and he's calling for him. Oh, dude, such a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
7 is one of those movies I have seen once, and I possibly won't watch it again for a while. It is definitely
It's
heavy.
not really a fun movie. It's very dark. And...
It is definitely dark and demented.
Mm-hmm.
Lambs is a horror as well. 100%.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So overwhelmingly on this one, 7 is 79% of you agree with us that 7 is a horror movie.
Nice.
So wow, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go to our next synopsis. You want to announce what our next movie is? The newest movie on our list. This one, we've heard a lot of people saying that this is not a horror movie. And if you haven't seen it, we will not spoil because this movie is so new.
Yeah, so we have the new Longlegs. You're going to pull up the synopsis?
Yep, I'm getting the poll ready right now. All right. Longlegs. FBI agent Lee Harker is assigned to an unsolved serial killer case that takes an unexpected turn, revealing evidence of the occult. Harker discovers a personal connection to the killer and must stop him before he strikes again. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys think Longlegs is a horror movie? So, obviously, we're not going to spoil anything.
No.
I'm still kind of pissed. Nicolas Cage's look in the movie was spoiled for me. And it pissed me off. Someone put it on Twitter on opening weekend, and I'm like, dude, I haven't even seen the movie yet. Like, why would you do that?
Yeah. But I mean, you still see him pretty early on anyway.
You do. He's one of the earliest moments.
It doesn't really ruin too much, I guess.
Right, and like you said, you literally see him for the very first time in the opening of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still, God, I wish I could have seen that blind.
Yeah.
Yes, I 100% think this is a horror movie. It's a slow burn horror movie, but it is a horror movie in my opinion. And I really liked Longlegs.
Yeah.
While it may not be my favorite of the year, it's a movie that captivated me to where I would like to watch it again.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like watching it a couple of more times, we would probably pick up on even more, to be honest.
Right.
Like, I feel like this is a movie that needs to be watched multiple times before you completely understand what's going on. Right,
because it definitely does jump around a little bit, and you're just like, wow, this is something different.
Yeah, it
Micah
definitely
Monroe
is different, but Micah Monroe did great. I thought
So
she was
good.
phenomenal.
So
I mean, so did Nicolas Cage. Like, he was like over the top crazy Nicolas Cage, which was great.
I just I'm not. We're gonna cut it there because I don't want to spoil this, and I'm seeing people in the chat say they haven't seen it.
Yes, that it's a horror movie. It's the atmosphere is absolutely scary. Just the feeling. This is one that's a lot of like dread, a lot of feeling of dread, and if you don't have like a lot of jump scares, things like that, but you do just have this feeling of like blah.
Right. Well, 100% of the chat agreed with you. That got 100% yes on Longlegs. I'm in the camp where if there's enough horror elements, I call it horror. I'm looking at all of you no voters on RoboCop. I love it, man. And that's why we love this.
Yeah.
There's not a right or wrong answer to any of this.
No.
But that's why we love to do this with you guys. It makes it more fun. We consider you guys family. I hate the word fan, and so does Ashley. Mm-hmm. We don't like using the word fans. I think it's a ridiculous word for people like us, but we consider you guys family, and your opinions matter to us. Mm-hmm. That's why we love to do this with you guys and just have fun. Like, that's what this is made for. I watched The Collector last night, and I loved it.
Nice.
So glad.
That's awesome.
I'm so glad that you liked it.
Yes.
Haven't seen it, can't vote. Still haven't seen Long Legs. I love it. Haven't seen it, won't vote, but I assume horror. Long Legs is a sleep paralysis demon of the horror genre itself. Yes. Like I said, slow burn, but you definitely feel throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
Haven't got to it. I'm gonna vote because I think it's horror looks scary from the poster. Haven't even seen a trailer. Good. One thing I will say about the Long Legs trailer, it's awesome. It doesn't give away a thing. Probably my favorite trailer of the year when it comes to what it shows you compared to what happens in the movie. You don't even see Nick Cage in the trailer, which I think is awesome. Yeah. I agree. The Collected is fantastic as well.
It is.
Long Legs is horror. I'm planning on watching the sequel tonight. Let's go. Let us know what you think, please. That's why I always stay on social media when I had to finally block the word Long Legs. Like, I was so upset.
It's crazy.
Love The Collector. Long Legs is a true crime horror and changes subgenre near the end. Yes, it absolutely does. I'm gonna rock with Ken's judgment on Long Legs being horror, so I'm gonna say it's horror. Ashley agrees. It was so good. No, not the bees. Crazy Nick Cage is the best Nick Cage.
Yeah.
While we're talking about
Speaking of that,
next week. Yes. Next week we'll be joined by our good friends over at Scare Talk, and we will be talking about our top 10 unintentionally funny horror moments.
And we have a good story for you, so come hang out with us.
We might talk about that.
Yeah.
Micah Monroe, she's the best. Didn't even know she was in it. Love It Follows and can't wait for the sequel. They Follow. If you like Micah Monroe, we've talked about this a lot. There's a newer movie called Flashback that she was in, and I feel like it's so underrated, guys. Check it out. Loved it. It's really good.
She's so good at playing that like deeply
dark, troubled
person. Like, she's great at that.
Aiden, 100%.
Oh,
100%.
definitely.
Long Legs is definitely horror. I watched Poltergeist 3 last night and loved it. Yes. Thank you, Ty. I love the usage of mirrors and reflections, and Long Legs is definitely a horror movie.
I love the usage of mirrors in that.
Thank you, Carbonite.
Thanks, Carbonite.
We're gonna try one of our newer ones to get you guys ready for next. Oh, you know what? We're gonna use our special one tonight.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Thank you.
That was so cool.
That was, yeah.
So cool. Yeah, that meant a lot to us that he was willing to do that. The best part about that, I don't know if you guys heard last week, but we didn't even ask him. We showed him a clip of one of our lives. Yeah. And he was like, put the camera on me. And he did it. And we were just like, oh, no way.
He was like, let's make one just for you.
Yeah, just for you guys.
Personalized one.
And that movie was very good. Okay, listen. I love Trap. And I'm getting so much shit for it. Amanda, I'm so glad you like it.
I loved it too.
We liked it a lot. Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett. Heck yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, Nessie. And I think a lot of it too. And again, we're not going to spoil anything. That third act was weird in Long Legs. I wish it would have stayed on the course. And I agree with you, Nessie. I wish. Yeah. And obviously,
yeah.
I think this movie was way overhyped, you know, so it was impossible to live up to the hype anyway, but I agree. Flashback, putting it on the list. I believe it's on Amazon Prime. Cue the song. We need to get a shirt that says Sledgehammer Horror. Cue the song.
We do.
I love that, Big Rod. Every time it makes me smile. Hey, what's up, Nadia?
Hey, Nadia.
To be honest, I'm more likely to rewatch Long Legs before I rewatch 7. Good call, Nicholas.
I mean, I understand.
Oh, demon bit. And he's so nice.
He's hilarious.
He's so funny in person.
Cracking up every time we hung out with him.
Yes. He's one of those guys that like genuinely just is kind and sweet. And he was talking for seagulls for like 10 minutes. And me and Ashley, like, I had to sit down. I was laughing so hard. But Miguel Nunez Jr. is one of those guys that I just genuinely was like, wow, he is such an amazing, kind person. Yeah. And there it is, Dylan O'Brien. Now, I'm telling you, movies, this is a movie that you're going to want to pay attention to, but it's worth it. I love Trap. Yeah. More people on the boat. Looking forward to the funny horror moments. One that comes to mind is Scream 6 ending when he runs at Melissa Barrera with a gun. We're excited.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nikki. So do we.
Yeah. I'm glad a lot of people are giving some Trap love.
This is what I love. I love your love for Trap, but it ain't for me.
That's fine.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Long Legs over Trap. And I know a lot of people are going to feel that way. Paige loved Trap. Yes. Love Josh Hartnett was easily the best part of that movie.
He was, absolutely. But there was a lot of other good stuff.
Absolutely.
Too.
Absolutely.
And I thought
Josh Hartnett indeed.
Oh my god.
T. Parker, you ain't lying. That's one good looking dude.
The little girl that played his daughter, I thought she was fantastic.
She was great. Probably shouldn't sing.
Stick to your day job.
Yeah, stick to your day job. I love that when she was like, I might sing when I get older. And he was like,
just the face, because, you know,
he's
as
a dad.
parents, you're just like, you're great, you're perfect. Yeah. Do what you want.
Halloween Kills When the Lady Unintentionally Hurts Herself by Michael knocking on the car door, laughed in theaters. I can't wait for that episode. That's gonna be. I'm having fun right now. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but you guys know how he came up.
I have a funny one.
She came up with it because of
a movie we were watching, and there was a scene that genuinely was supposed to be serious, and she laughed so hard that I made you laugh.
That it made me laugh.
Yeah.
You know what, Brad? It's funny because a rule that Ashley and I have: we do not read or watch any reviews of a movie we haven't seen yet.
I don't want it to be spoiled, and
I don't want to be influenced by my friends.
Yeah, that's
because like Cody really hated it. Chris,
a lot of people really hated it.
And then Sydney from Horror Chronicles, she really hated it. And these are all people that are friends of ours, they're peers of ours, they're people that we look up to and watch their content. And I'm glad I didn't let their reviews sway me at all. So that's why I like to just go into it for myself for that reason. I don't like the majority of M. Night stuff, but I will give Trap a chance. See, for me, he's either really hit or really miss. Like, hated Glass, hated Old.
Yeah,
hated.
I feel like
The Happening. He's more hits than misses.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, he definitely has more hits for us.
Seems Trap is love hate. I have never seen any of M. Night's, minus the first 3 movies, The Unbreakable Trilogy and Knock at the Cabin, and I like all of those. Mm-hmm. Bonjour, Dice.
Bonjour.
My boy Cody hated it. Usually him and I have the same taste, but I do want to see it for myself because not going to exactly.
Yeah.
I don't either. I knew nothing of Trap, and it was hard not to read anything. I know, because so much clickbait, but I'm glad I went into it as a surprise. Me too.
Yeah, for sure.
Trap has caught a lot of flack. I'll check it out on streaming. Yeah, please, then let us know. Even if you don't like it, that's
then you didn't pay to go see it.
See, and I have a really good friend. I'm not going to drop any names. They really, really love The Happening, and I'm always like, how are we friends? Like, how did this happen? So Trap is more divisive, but it leads more on the positivity. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
At least people are the people that do hate it. They're not like.
Here's what I can't stand. Go ahead and finish. I think you're going in the same direction I am.
But I don't feel like anybody that doesn't like it has been like, oh, like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, been, aggressive about it.
Not much. But what I hate is like, Cody caught a lot of shit. And like I said, good friend of mine, good friend of ours. And people are like, what the fuck's wrong with you? How do you not like it? I'm like, dude, like, what? It's a movie, man.
We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. It's just a movie, guys. Like, we're actually humans. And
shovel time up. But I would love to see that. Michael Myers versus the Sharks. That Live Dice did with, Live and Christian Hannah Horror together. Yeah. That's prime time right there. I love Glass, and Ken, you convinced me to check out Trap. I hope you dig it, Nicholas.
Yeah.
The Happening whole movie could be an unintentionally funny moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That to me, I love M. Night, but if I really hated Old. Oh, Dice, you guys crushed it. Anytime, I love Brain Mucus. I love when you're doing that. Anything like that. It's amazing to watch how horror can be therapeutic for us. We were so honored to be a part of that. And I'm glad that I'm glad you're still killing it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
We all have our preferences in art, just like music. It's impossible for everyone to love the same movie. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, how boring would it be if we all loved
There'd be no reason to see it. We all know we love it.
There'd no reason to do these types of things because if we all have the same opinion, like, we already know where everyone stands if we have the same opinion.
Right. I think this next one is going to be the biggest no we have so far. Do you want to announce it?
So this one is The Goonies.
The Goonies. So let's read the synopsis.
I will say that there is a scene in The Goonies that genuinely scared me as a kid.
So the synopsis for this movie: old-fashioned yarn about a band of adventurous kids who take... I can't. Liz says old-fashioned yarn. That's amazing. Old-fashioned yarn about a band of adventurous kids who take on the might of a property developing company which plans to destroy their home and build a country club. When the children discover an old pirate map in the attic, they follow it into an underground cavern in search of lost treasure, but come up against plenty of dangerous obstacles along the way. So, do you guys think that The Goonies is a horror movie? Let's start with you, babe.
I would say it's gateway horror. This is something that you would watch with younger kids to maybe get them into the horror genre, but it's not fully horror to me. I mean, you have these bad guys pretty much hunting children. Like that's
you
horror.
May know them, the Fratellis.
The Fratellis, yeah. When the scene that I'm talking about, and we talked about this in our non-horror
scary scenes from non-horror movies.
And it's the scene where Chunk is trying to get away and he sees the car and he's like explaining that they're coming after him and they turn on the light and you see his face in the rearview mirror. Scared the shit out of me as a kid. Like, oh, you were caught. Like, oh shit, like that.
That anxiety as a kid.
Yeah. So I feel like this is something that you watch and then you're like, let's move on to bigger, scarier things.
And this is one of those movies that I feel like the TV cut is scarier than the theatrical cut. Because in the TV cut, you have the moment where they fight the octopus.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the scariest scene to me as a kid. And I remember, because like, I never owned this movie. I had it recorded on a VHS from TBS. I never knew that wasn't in the theatrical cut.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember like, because even in the theatrical cut, they still have the part where it's like, and we fought the octopus. Like Slick Shoe says that to the police.
Yeah.
And I never knew that it wasn't in that cut. So for me, it was always in the movie. I literally had it like, I still remember like some of the commercials that were on the VHS that we had it on.
Funny.
And I am going to stay with you though. I'm going to say no. Overall, The Goonies is not a horror movie. I think there are the horror elements to it, but I think this is more of a coming of age adventure film.
Adventure thriller type. Yeah.
So I think that yes, I am going to lean on the no on this one. Let's see where our poll is, and 63% agree with no. The Goonies is not a horror movie. Now, we'll catch up on the chat before we get to the next one. I think me and you may be on an island on this next one, my love.
You think we have the same opinion on this one?
I
think we do, actually. I think we've talked about this before.
All right, so here we go. Let's catch up on the chat real quick. I hate old just for that kid turning teen scene. Like, what the hell was he thinking? I don't even want to talk about old. Like, there's so much about that movie where I'm like, ooh. Yeah. But then, I have not seen Deadpool and Wolverine yet, and my daughter really wants to see it.
Yeah.
So we got to go watch it.
She's definitely into Deadpool right now.
It meant so much to us. Like, we could never tell you how much it meant for us to be on that.
I was so excited that we were.
When you asked us, we still get that nervous feeling when people are like, hey, you want to come on our show? And talk? Like, we still get nervous. Like why do you want to talk to us? Like, we're losers.
We're stupid.
So it meant the world to come on and talk about come play and how therapeutic stuff like that can be. Horror is it really can be therapy. And
absolutely,
to be able to talk to one of our best friends about it.
You watch somebody else's trauma and get out of your own.
Right. Movies are suggested. People are going to love it or hate it.
Absolutely.
Haven't seen The Goonies. Christian was fantastic. I appreciate him for joining me and being so enthusiastic and open with the concept. Christian's a great guy.
He cracks me up. He's funny.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. One thing I love about Christian Hannah Horror is whenever we do an episode with Christian, he acknowledges Ashley and treats Ashley just like he does me. There's a lot of people that come on and they're like, Ken. And I'm like, she does more work on this than I do. I'm just the loud one.
Oh, sad.
And Christian will say, well, let me tell you something, Ashley. You know, and he'll talk right to my wife, my partner, the person that does this with me. And that means so much to me when Christian, and it means so much to her too. You know, he acknowledges the fact that Ashley asked me a question. Let me answer directly to Ashley. And Christian's just one of the most genuine, kind people on this planet. I love him to death. Hey, you guys.
Yeah, but you know, he scared me.
Oh, Sloth?
Sloth scared me as a kid. Before you kind of knew that he was he was a villain in his own family.
Peyton Manning's biological father.
Yeah. It scared me. It was like this monster that they hid away, you know,
Right.
and didn't take very good care of.
The Goonies scared me as a kid too. And have you seen what Corey Feldman is? I don't want to talk about that. The Goonies scared me as a kid. That one was shown to me around the same time as Gremlins.
Yeah.
Goonies, no, that's my classic adventure movie, but I was scared as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think Gremlins would squeeze out a yes vote for me, but not Goonies. Now, would I consider it more adventure than horror, though it has some elements to it? Yes.
Absolutely.
You know, the Goonies was filmed in the exact same location where they filmed the movie, the Free Willy movie.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
dope. Goonies is a fun family adventure. It is. I love the Goonies. I do think it's a very fun movie.
Yeah, I feel like it's something that you have to show our younger generation.
This is my wish, and I'm taking it back. They threaten kids, and the Goonies is my favorite intro to a movie with a police chase on the TV,
Yeah.
and it passes through the town. Yes. So dated. And, like, the truffle shuffle, like, that
Yeah.
fucked that kid up, man. Like, he had real bad, like body
yeah.
dysmorphia. Yeah, terrible. Gremlins, Goonies isn't far behind. The Gate would be, I think The Gate's absolutely a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. The Goonies don't, no, I don't think so. Hey, what's up, Graveyard? Be seeing you soon.
Hey.
I think the only horror part is when he's in the freezer with a dead body. That part is
That's
terrible. I love The Gate, one of my earliest horror flicks. Fantastic movie. You've been naughty. I love the Goonies, but I can see why you think that for sure. Absolutely. I can absolutely say that. You two are guinea pigs for the new concept. We will be your guinea pig anytime,
yeah.
guys.
It worked out.
Yep. Horror movies help with my anxiety.
Yeah, mine
Yes,
too.
mine
Absolutely.
too.
I literally have comfort horror movies, and people think that that's weird, and I'm like, it's weird that you don't.
Right.
Like, you're the weird one, not me.
Right. Yeah, Graveyard. I'll hit you up tomorrow. We'll set an exact date for it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, Cuckoo's not playing anywhere near us, so I'm trying to get a screener so we can see it.
Or we're gonna have to travel a couple of hours.
Horror just makes me smile and love experiencing horror with my girlfriend. It's such a bonding thing.
Yeah.
No, that's not corny at all.
It's not like it's literally
Our first date was to see War of the Worlds.
It's absolutely what we
We
have
built
in common. Like,
yeah, we built our relationship on horror. You know, we love each other and we love horror movies, and I don't think that's corny at all. I think that's amazing. Like,
awesome.
I genuinely think that's fantastic. Mm-hmm. The Goonies is nostalgic to me and is a great movie to get kids into horror.
Yes, it's very
Gremlins
nostalgic.
is a horror. I'm hearing that they're talking about it now, Scott. I'm hearing the rumors.
Can you imagine?
Okay, here we go with this one. So the next movie that we are going to be talking about is Stephen King's Stand By Me. Is Stand By Me a horror movie or not? Let's give you the synopsis first. After learning that a stranger has been accidentally killed near their rural homes, 4 Oregon boys decide to go see the body. On the way, Gordy, Vern, Chris, and Teddy encounter a mean junk man and a marsh full of leeches, as they also learn more about one another for their very different home lives.
Mm-hmm.
Just a lark at first, the boys' adventure evolves into a defining event in their lives. So, do we think Stand By Me is a horror movie?
Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead and get her. I'm gonna say yes on this one, guys. This is one that I mean, they're out looking for a dead body. You have Kiefer Sutherland and the bullies that are the villains here. The leeches, copper sick balls. I'm gonna say this is a horror movie. I think this is right up there with The Gate. Like, yeah, it doesn't have the minions or anything like that, but the first time you see that little boy's body,
yeah, that scared the shit out of me. I absolutely agree with you. It's definitely horror. Ace as the villain, like
Ace is so good.
He was scary. Like, he freaked me out, and it is like a coming of age. You know, they learn a lot about each other, and after they go through all this different shit, they come out differently from it. But yeah, I mean, seeing that the little boy's body down by,
and then as a little boy, the leech scene.
Yeah.
You know, and then like even like the train
where they have to run over through the train tracks. Yeah, that definitely gets your old heart pumping for them.
The scene when Chris Chambers is telling the story, and he's like, "Well, let's just say," he's like, "You knew I took the money, but let's just say I put it back, but she still didn't tell anybody." And then the next day she showed up with a brand new purse. Like, that whole scene made me so sad as a kid.
Yeah.
He's like, what kind of chance do I have? You know what he's talking to? He's like, you're right. I'm not your dad. And if I was your dad, you wouldn't be out here doing this shit with us. Like, we're going to be building bird boxes in a couple of years, and you're still going to be doing what you're doing. Like, oh, God. Whether it's a horror or not, whether we agree or disagree, it's a fantastic movie.
It really is.
And the kids in the movie, like that
great.
cast of kids, you have Jerry O'Connell, Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, R.I.P.,
Yeah.
Corey Feldman, and these 4 kids they're so amazing. And Ace is another one that scared me as a kid.
Yeah, that's why I said Ace is the villain. He scared the shit out of me.
John Cusack played the big brother that ended up dying.
Yeah.
You know, and like
such a great cast, and their younger ages, you know, just starting off with acting, and they definitely, I mean, these were all children that held up this movie. So
I guess Ashley and I are gonna say yes, question mark.
Yeah,
I think this is close. I think it's close. Like, this is one of the ones that could border. It teeters for me.
Yeah,
it teeters between yes. It's hard to say yes. It's hard to say no. Either way, I fucking love it.
Yeah,
I love this movie so much. War of the Worlds is an awesome first movie. Yeah, that was our first date, 2005.
2005.
Almost 20 years.
Long time ago.
Man, I'm sorry you don't get to see it. Yeah.
Yes.
Horror is much more than it's supposed to scare you. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen Stand By Me. I love it.
So good.
Coming of age, adventure coming of age movies. Yeah, I could totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Stand By Me is a horror to me because I saw it so young.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing, when we see it, how it affects us at that time.
Us, even thinking back on how you felt as a child seeing it.
I'm not one of those people that's like, you haven't seen this movie. What the hell's wrong with you? Like, there's billions of movies out there, guys.
Yeah.
We're not all going to see them. But you guys should definitely check out Stand By Me.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely worth the watch.
It's
Danny,
it's nostalgia.
Danny, no! It's amazing.
Yeah.
To me, Stand By Me was more of a thriller than a horror. Come on! No! I love it. Can we talk about the Free Willy movies next time? We'll see if we can fit them in there. We'll try our hardest. I think Gremlins is a family horror. What's up, Calvin?
It absolutely is.
If I remember, I'd say no to horror, but it does have uncomfortable moments.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Cuckoo 2. God, it sucks. Stand By Me is fantastic horror or not. A Night Without Armor in a Shadowed Land. Oh, and they're singing that song?
Yeah.
So, Chopper. That's what it is. Chopper. Sick balls. It's not Copper, it's Chopper. Stand By Me, no. I'd put the horror aspect as like 4th in the list of genres. If I was describing it, it's that far down for me. Feldman getting his ear burned on the stove when he's telling that story about his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Stand By Me is a fun movie. It's coming of age, yes. Yeah. What the hell is wrong with you? Let me get out my list real quick. I read an article that said Silence of the Lambs isn't splatter gore fest, therefore not a horror movie. That to me is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be splattery or gory to be horror.
Right.
There's so many different ways to scare you
without any blood or guts. Look at The Ring.
The Ring.
You know, The Ring, it has no gore in it whatsoever, and it's one of the scariest movies of all time. Voted on. Is in the top 10.
Yeah.
I
don't agree that a horror movie has to have gore. Or
Ash is like, now it would be nice.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I love gore, but there's more gore out there.
Looking forward to the Tim Chismar House episode. It was so good. We had such a great time. Chopper Lick Self. The Pack? I have not heard of that. Right, yeah, it's got to be Collider. All right, now this next one is another one that I've seen be very... Oh, we got to end that one. 65% say no on Stand By Me, so we did get a no vote on that one.
I feel like we've agreed on everything so far.
Pretty much. This one might be another one that I don't know if me and you are even going to agree on this one. So the next one is Disney's Return to Oz. We will read the synopsis for this one. Dorothy discovers she is back in the land of Oz and finds the yellow brick road is now a pile of rubble and the Emerald City is in ruins. Discovering that the magical land is now under control of an evil empire, she sets off to rescue the Scarecrow, Tin Man, and Lion with the help of her new friends. So do you guys think Return to Oz is a horror movie, or do you not think it's a horror movie? What do you think, babe?
I don't think it's a horror movie, but I think it's probably one of the most like frightening Disney movies that has ever been made. There's like the wheelie.
The wheelies?
Those things are freaky. The thing with it's what's the thing with its hands or whatever?
Oh, what are those called?
The one thing. That thing's creepy too. And just like there's different aspects of it.
Even the way the scarecrow looks in this one.
Yeah, the scarecrow looks creepy. Now I don't think it's the outright horror, but it's definitely has some scary things to it.
I disagree. I think this is totally a horror movie.
You think it's horror?
Absolutely. I mean, you're in the psychiatric hospital.
Yeah, and you
have
hear
the wheelies,
them like
the screaming.
The screaming and stuff. Yeah.
This movie scared me bad. If you guys haven't seen Return to Oz, it is available now on Disney Plus. And it is like a fever dream. It is scary. The wheelies are terrifying.
Yeah.
I love this movie. It's still a movie that I genuinely love, but it is a very scary film, and the way even everything looks. Because Dorothy's way younger in this one, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's like a kid throughout a lot of this movie.
And the king that like steals her shoes.
Yes, like I'm telling you, there's a lot of real, genuinely scary moments in Return to Oz. If you guys haven't seen it, because every time I talk about it, it's either it's a horror movie or I've never seen it.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I just there's definitely horror like aspects of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm totally gonna say yes, it's a horror movie. But let's catch up on the chat. I think a killer dog movie is nothing more scary. Oh yeah. Thoughts on The Client with Tommy Lee Jones and Susan Sarandon? I haven't seen that in a long time, but I remember being scared by it. I do remember that one. That's one that really genuinely scared me. Is there a chance you guys can talk about Killer Animal? Maybe we'll do that. Our top 10 killer animal movies. I would love to do that, Scott. Damn, another one I haven't seen yet, but I am aware of a woman with many heads in those roller things, the wheelies.
The wheelies are creepy.
Return to Oz. I've never seen Return to Oz. Hey, thank you, Danny. Looking forward to watching Tim Chismar on your channel. P.S. Return to Oz is horror nightmare fuel. So there's another donation, guys. So let's give here's a hint of what's coming next week.
It's gonna be big! This is gonna be today! Brady, get your ass down!
Can't wait.
Is it gonna be today?
Cannot wait for next week. Thank you very much for your donation, Danny. It means a lot.
Danny.
The Witch's Heads.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Return to Oz. Been on my watch list for a while. Haven't seen it. I would say Jurassic Park's totally horror.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Absolutely.
Jabberwocky with multiple heads. The Sand That Turns You. Oh my gosh. Yes. Such a good movie. Wild Things. Yeah, I remember that one. The cover, they're in the pool. Denise Richards, Nev Campbell.
Yeah.
It has you guys got a witch that collects children's heads. Yeah, you guys got Return, and it's on Disney Plus right now. We just showed our daughter not that long ago.
Yep.
And that one ends with 57% say yes, Return to Oz is a horror movie.
All right. I guess some people are on your side on this one.
This next one, I won't say it until we get it out there, but the next one is, you want to say it?
Flowers in the Attic.
Flowers in the Attic is a gripping tale that tells the story of 4 siblings who are hidden away in their wealthy grandparents' attic after the sudden death of their father. As they endure years of confinement and abuse, they form a bond that helps them to survive their harrowing circumstances. So, what do you guys think? Is Flowers in the Attic a horror movie or not? You want to start off, babe?
I think it's a psychological horror film. This movie messed me up as a kid. Like, these kids are locked in an attic and poisoned by their own mother. That is horror. And it's even like they confront her and then they they give the mom the cookie, and I don't know. This
is one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. I'll be 100% honest with you.
This movie definitely messed me up watching it. Like, it was on like Lifetime or something, I want to say. And yeah, this really isn't there 2 different?
There was a remake they just did recently.
Was there one?
And I remember I was just like, I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah. it's definitely messed up, and just
It's
the things that
scary.
that
The kids
that
go through.
perspire in the attic is horrible.
Yeah. It's real life horror.
It is.
And the kid in the movie looked just like me as a little kid. Like he had the blonde curly hair, and I wouldn't eat sugar cookies. Like as a kid, I would not
you thought
eat
your
them.
mom was poisoning
Yes, like if it had powdered sugar on it, I was like, "No, I'm good."
You're like, I know what you're doing, Mom.
Yep, I'm good. You're gonna put me in the trunk when we're done. This definitely to me, and another thing, it really, really reminds me of my mom. My mom loved these next two, this one and the next one.
She put me and my siblings in an attic and didn't feed us.
Her and my sister used to love
kidding.
these next two movies, and
Yeah.
we would watch them all the time. And even the book, V.C. Andrews did the book, and my mom had the book. She loved the book because it was Flowers in the Attic, and then like Petals. There was a sequel, something about Petals. Like the book had a sequel, and my mom cried. I remember my mom crying reading the sequel. Flowers in the Attic.
Petals in
the Wind. That was, my mom cried reading that book. So I knew that like the movie made me sad enough.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to see what happened with that, with the other book. So, but yeah, I'm saying 100% yes.
I agree.
100% yes. So, Flowers in the Attic for me. And ending this poll, 58% agree.
Nice.
Hocus Pocus is horror.
Yes,
totally
Sean,
agree.
Absolutely.
I'd say it's a thriller, but I'd have to watch it again. It's been years.
I didn't see.
Wild Things with Neve Campbell, Denise Richards.
Yeah.
Flowers in the Attic, I can't vote. I haven't seen it. Tragic and Sad, V.C. Andrews, yes. I'm not going to say that word because then YouTube will torture me for it, but yes.
Absolutely.
It's terrible. I mean, don't get me wrong, Calvin. It is a drama, but it is it's a horrific drama. Never saw a Flowers in the Attic movie, but I can say the book does not have a horror vibe. Okay, good call. Thank you, Danielle, for that. I've never heard of this one. Flowers in the Attic is another movie I've never seen. Yeah, we'll have to watch it again so we can actually give some context on that, brother. More than a remake, bro. They made a series of remakes plus sequels. Wow. Flowers in the Attic was emotionally brutal. Mom and Grandma were one of the scariest villains ever. It's psychological. Exactly, it's psychological trauma throughout the whole. Not just to the kids, but to us too. Like we're psychologically watching it and feeling that same thing.
Well, because your mom, your grandma, those are the type of people
that
you trust and are supposed to protect you, and they didn't.
I love this, Troy. I didn't even realize Flowers wasn't considered horror. 100% yes. The book series is so good. I can see why your mom cried. I did too. Thank you for that. I need that sometimes. More than one sequel. Got multiple sequels. It's a series, fella. Come on. Sorry, Danny. V.C. Andrews is a passage of being too young to read it, but still reading it.
Yeah.
Nice, Nadia. I like that. Love you too, buddy. Miss you. Why won't you call the movie Orphan? I think it's horror if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
One of these days, Kez needs to slip a goalie mask on one of those Meyer silhouettes in the background.
Big Rod.
I've been trying.
And I take it right back off.
Take it right off. we go right back to Michael.
No need.
All right, so this next one's another kind of deep cut.
This is definitely a deep cut.
Yeah. I'm getting it ready. The next one is, I wish my boy Cody was here, Mr. Cody Loki, because he loves this movie. Next is The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. The synopsis: when she was SA'd by her doctor, Claire reported him to the police, and rather than go to prison for his crimes, he unlived himself. The shock of the accusations and offing himself caused the doctor's pregnant wife, Peyton, to have a miscarriage. Driven mad with rage, Peyton poses as a nanny for the family. Her plan: to tear Claire's life apart, seduce her husband, and eventually kill the woman who she blames for ruining her life.
This is a deep cut for sure.
It's for me. This is I'm gonna say yes.
I think
a horror.
It's like real life horror. Like
it has the SA moments.
Yeah.
It has and of all the movies so far that I've seen on here that we were questioning, this one is actually, and it is on Tubi, This one is labeled horror/mystery.
Yeah.
So it's labeled as a horror.
I would
This is the first one that's done that.
I agree that it's horror. Like you said, it has the essay. Then you have this woman that
her
has
framing Ernie Hudson into thinking that he's been touching the kid.
And yeah, just what she does because of her disgusting husband.
Yeah. And it's just one of those things where another movie that really scared me. She scared me so bad. Rebecca De Mornay, she scared me so bad as a kid because she was supposed to be, she's, very pretty, blonde, looks like just a regular sweet person, and she's so
that's what
horrifying.
People look like.
Exactly.
Really pretty and blonde.
Really pretty, blonde, blue eyes, white teeth, white shirt, in front of a brown dresser next to a guy in a black shirt. But yeah, and I remember I didn't understand it as a kid. This is one of those movies that does SA classfully, I guess tastefully.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't show you anything. It shows her going into the doctor, him removing his glove as he's taking it down, and then her freaking out as she walks out. And I didn't understand what that meant when I was a kid. I didn't know anything like that was happening. And that's how it should be in a movie for me. Show me enough to make me know that I'm grossed out and upset. Don't show me the act. Yeah. I do not like that at all. It bothers me. But so I'm going to say yes. The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is a horror movie. Where did you land on that?
Yes. As well.
And 60% of people agree that it is a horror movie. This next one better go pretty quickly. I wonder if me and you agree on this next one.
I don't know.
Well, we will catch up on the chat real quick, and then we will go into the next one. All right. I'd say so. Certainly a thriller. Hand That Rocks the Cradle, 100% a horror. I'll rock your cradle. Don't threaten me with a good time, Danny. Would you call the movie The Ghost in the Darkness? Yes. With the lions? Hell yeah, I'd call that a horror movie. That's a terrifying movie. The scene where the lion's up in the tree? Oh, yeah.
I've never seen that one.
Good movie. Is Ghost Rider. He took over after Johnny Blaze. I've never seen Hand That Rocks the Cradle either. It is very messed up, Nicholas. Like I said, our boy Cody Loki, the dude that loves movies, loves that movie. Like, we really connected on that. I very much know, hence the fake handle. I'm biggest Marvel's Midnight fan, Calvin. LOL, Ashley, where are you hiding the bodies?
We'll never tell.
So just so you guys know, I love being alive. That's real close. I'd say yes. I never really viewed it as a horror when I was a kid, but I probably didn't realize all the details from the synopsis.
Yeah.
What are you guys called that killer black leopard movie cat? I don't know that movie, Scott. I'm going to ask you killer animal movie questions if you guys have to choose between a black leopard or a normal spotted leopard. I don't know. Probably a spotted leopard. That would always freak me out.
Yeah. Spotted leopard for sure.
The greenhouse scene in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle is terrible. Or when they find the little girl's underwear in Ernie Hudson's toolbox.
Yeah.
That scene, even as a kid, I knew something was wrong.
Right.
I didn't know what they were insinuating, but I knew a little girl's underwear shouldn't be in there. When she puts them in there, you're like, she's doing something really bad. And it scared me. Even as a kid, that scene scared me so bad. So we're going to our next one. You want to tell them what we're talking about, baby?
E.T. Go Home.
Phone home.
Yeah. E.T. Phone Home. Yeah. I did that. I said go home.
After a gentle alien becomes stranded on Earth, the being is discovered and befriended by a young boy named Elliot, our boy Henry Thomas, that we love very much. Bringing the extraterrestrial into a suburban California home, Elliot introduces E.T. as the alien is dubbed to his brother and his little sister Gertie, and the children decide to keep its existence a secret. Soon, however, E.T. falls ill, resulting in government intervention and a dire situation for both Elliot and the aliens. So, what do you guys think? Would you guys say E.T. is a horror movie? What are you going to say on this one, babe?
I don't think it's a horror movie. I think this is another like family type like I don't know, I guess like it has scary parts, like when
E.T.'s getting sick and he's all gray.
Yeah, when he's sick, and then you have all like the government taking over their home in the suits and stuff. That definitely scared me. Or even in the beginning when when Elliot first sees him and you have that jump scare, that scared me too as a kid. I was obsessed with this movie. I literally have a picture on the bike with like the background in front of J.C. Penney's, and I was in the little red sweatshirt. Yeah, like I have a picture, like a Polaroid of me doing that. I loved this movie as a kid.
That's another part when the government people are walking in their suits.
Yeah, that legitimately scared me. But I think it's another one that you would show a younger generation to kind of get them prepared for bigger horror movies.
I'm gonna say no. It's not a horror movie. I think it's a family adventure movie. And obviously, since there's extraterrestrial, you're going to have a sci-fi element to it. You're going to have somewhat sci-fi and horror. I think are very closely knit. But overall, no. It does make me want Reese's Pieces, though. Like, watching this movie really makes me want to eat some Reese's Pieces. I'll tell you that.
Reese's Pieces are not my favorite. I don't really care for Reese's Pieces.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it. So, I came to the chat as it was going. Did you two disagree on anything so far?
We disagreed. We just disagreed on something?
Yeah.
Return of Oz. I didn't think it was horror, and you did.
And I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Was fun Universal Studios ride. Oh, it's the worst Atari game. I wouldn't say E.T. is horror. Another childhood film. Ironically, even though there were scary scenes, I wouldn't put it in horror, at least not as a whole. Too magical to be horror. Family drama. The shed part is terrifying. The government suits were the scariest.
That scared me, the government suits. And they're like taking over their lives, and the mom is like trying to help them get out.
A family sci-fi film. I went on the ride when I was a kid, and the ride was not scary.
I wonder if my mom still has a picture.
We gotta find it.
I know.
E.T. Phone Homer.
I just remember it was right in front of J.C. Penney's.
I did ride the E.T. ride, actually, now that I think about it. I have a picture of me, but it was when we were older. We saw it at like a wax museum or something.
Oh, okay.
And I had the red hoodie, and I put it on. Yeah, I love the movie, but I agree.
Was young. I was probably like Kenley's age. Like, I was really young.
I do think, besides Longlegs getting 100%, this one got a whopping 83% no.
Okay, so
to being a horror movie.
Most of you agree with us.
Yes. This next one is very... I
think this is probably the hardest one for me to rate.
So let's get this one going, and then we'll give the synopsis, even though the synopsis is fucking impossible to say because what the fuck happens in this movie.
And that's why it's so weird.
This was the first movie you ever bought me.
It was.
As a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So our next movie is
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko. So we will read the
synopsis.
The synopsis for it. The synopsis for Donnie Darko. During the presidential election of 1988, already terrifying, a teenager named Donnie Darko sleepwalks out of his house one night and sees a giant demonic-looking rabbit named Frank, who tells him the world will end in 28 days. When Donnie returns home, he finds that a jet engine has crashed into his bedroom. Is Donnie living in a parallel universe? Is he suffering from mental illness? Or will the world really end? So, do you think this movie is a horror movie?
So, this one really is hard for me to even try to explain. There's creepy imagery for sure, and some of the content is very creepy. But I don't think it comes across as horror completely, even though it does have that creepy imagery, and it's almost like psychological, like you don't really know what's going on. So no, I would say it's more of like a mystery.
Okay. We disagree again. I think this is 100% a horror movie. Amazing cast, amazing things that happen.
Absolutely has amazing.
Frank
cast.
is terrifying. The old woman, everything here dies alone. Like, that's fucking terrifying. It's just everything about it's like a weird time travel sci-fi horror thriller. Like, this movie has a little bit of everything in it. And it's just a fantastic movie. Like I said, this was the first movie that Ashley bought me as a gift.
I think I bought you that at Sam Goody.
God, I'm a Sam Goody. But this
good old days.
Yeah. I 100% agree. This movie, I think that it's very hard to determine yes or no on this film. I think that it's one of the harder ones to actually say, yes, it is a horror movie. No, it is not a horror movie. But again, that's why this is fun, the opinion of it. And with my opinion, yes, Donnie Darko is a horror movie to me. One of my favorite horror movies has the tag on it, not all extraterrestrials are friendly. That's awesome. What about Short Circuit? Johnny Five basically had the government going full Michael Myers on him, trying to end his existence. I haven't seen Short Circuit in so long. Isn't he the one that they kind of did for Wall-E? Kind of looks like Short Circuit.
I have no idea.
This was around the same time when I rode the Back to the Future ride.
That's awesome.
Let's go. The E.T. ride was fun as a kid. I remember him saying your name at the end. Never went on it. The E.T. ride always made me giggle like a little kid. I hope they never get rid of it. God, we got to do this.
Yeah.
They no longer do the name thing? Aw. Not horror, but weird and creepy.
Yeah.
Donnie Darko, not horror, but really weird. Darko will be a close call, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love how you guys are including our opinions in the poll. Of course.
Absolutely.
Your guys' opinions mean so much to us.
That's why we did this. We want to know what you guys think.
Donnie Darko is horror. Shut up, you fuck ass. Donnie Darko was hyped by everyone when I was a teenager. I watched it and I was like, meh. I loved it.
Yeah.
I love Donnie Darko, but I would put it was weird liminal space running parallel to horror, but yet not fully horror.
Yeah.
I love that, Dice. Darko has just enough creepiness and dread to qualify. Polls are awesome. So I'm glad you guys like this. We would love to do more episodes like this, where it's just us and you guys getting your guys' opinions. That means a lot to us. We love doing this with you guys. Like,
yeah.
We, like I said, we would not have a nice family dinner
little,
and
like hangout sesh with our people
that we can actually talk horror with.
Yeah.
That understand what we're saying. Couldn't finish watching it for me. That's rare for me. Fluke with a hit for sure. Never had that kind of, and that's very true. Donnie Darko came out of nowhere and people loved it. But it had Jake Gyllenhaal, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Patrick Swayze's in the movie.
Yeah. It's got a good cast.
Yeah, the cast is huge. Drew Barrymore, Seth Rogen, Jenna Malone, Mary McDonnell. Like, there's a lot of really big names in this movie. James Duvall, who played Frank. Holmes Osborne, Ashley Tisdale. Like, there's a lot. Jerry Traynor. Even I forgot how great this cast is. Like, this is a huge cast.
Yeah.
Fran Kranz. Holy crap. The guy, it's Cabin in the Woods. The stoner guy. He's in it. That's awesome. Yes, like I said, amazing cast in this movie. I am going to say yes, Donnie Darko is a horror movie. We've got two more for you guys.
2 more to do.
Getting the synopsis for this next one pulled up. Hold on, we got to see where that poll ended. Ooh, I beat you by 2%. 52% say that Donnie Darko is a horror movie.
All right.
All
right.
Sam Goody, Tower Records, Virgin. Oh, so fun.
Yes.
Do more poll episodes.
Okay.
Donnie Darko had a fantastic soundtrack. The Swayzenator, baby. Rest in peace. I really enjoyed these polls. Would you call Cujo? Oh, absolutely a horror movie. Donnie Darko also had a great soundtrack. Even that opera song they play in during the theater scene.
Yeah, that fucking theater scene.
All right, guys. So now we're going to the next, and we're going to do more poll episodes.
Yeah.
Promise.
If you guys enjoy this, then yeah, because I'm having fun too. So
hold on, let me get it ready.
Our next one is.
Go ahead.
The Crow.
The Crow.
This is another hard one for me.
So let's do the synopsis.
Okay.
The night before his wedding, musician Eric Draven and his fiancée are brutally murdered by members of a violent inner-city Detroit gang. On the anniversary of their death, Eric rises from the grave and assumes the gothic mantle of the Crow, a supernatural avenger, tracking down the thugs responsible for the crimes and mercilessly murdering them. Eric eventually confronts head gangster Top Dollar to complete his macabre mission. So, what do you guys think? Is The Crow a horror movie or is it not a horror movie? Let me start with you this time, love.
I think it's horror. It's dark, it's brutal, it's eerie. You have even like the stuff behind the scenes, like the curse on it and stuff. Like, I feel like that even makes it scarier. the real life stuff. So I would say, yeah.
We're gonna disagree again.
You say no?
No, I don't think The Crow is a horror movie. It's hard though. Like, it's hard. It's definitely a supernatural movie.
Right.
And The Crow gives him the ability to come back. Just like with the upcoming remake, I wish they would have named him anything other than Eric Draven. I think that would have been better. But no, I don't think it's a horror movie. It definitely has horror elements, like where they die. Great emotional scenes. It can't rain all the time. I love Brendan Lee. I think he's great.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say this is more like a gothic noir crime film than it is a horror movie. Let's see. Catch up on the chat. Crow is a comic book movie. When I first heard about the movie The Crow years ago, I thought it was a movie about a bunch of killer crows going around killing people. Like I feel The Crow is supernatural action adventure. As goth as The Crow is, it's not really horror for me, more noir action. Comic book movie, dark fantasy, don't see horror. The Crow, no, very gothic aesthetic, but it's clearly an action revenge movie. Why did that just happen?
I do not know.
It's not a horror movie. Wow, bro, you are not playing fair. LOL, The Crow. Wow, my brain. It's a comic book movie. I think I would vote yes if The Crow was a girl and the villains were rednecks, but not gangsters. It's a hard yes. Superhero vengeance film. I've actually never seen The Crow, but it's been on my watch list forever. I think it's a great movie. I wish it didn't take place in Detroit. I love The Crow, James O'Barr comic. It's a gothic superhero, not horror, not. I'm shocked too. It's not. Agreed. Anyone read the OG Crow comics? Are they horror? I've never read them. The Crow 2 is good. It even has the Deftones in it. Ooh, I watched A Change in You. Yeah, he did. Passed way too soon.
Yeah.
The Crow's another one that goes in not exactly horror space. Do I still have it on my horror shelf? Yes. So do we. But it's also a Halloween film.
True.
Hell of a soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Sadly, Calvin gone too soon.
Yes.
It's not a good day to be a bad guy. The shotgun. Oh, love it. The soundtrack is really dope. Like that electronic indie industrial thing. Mm-hmm. Now, this last one I already know Ashley and I agree on.
Yeah.
Let's check the answer, the poll real quick. 64% agree. The Crow is not a horror movie.
All
right. Still awesome. So now we got one more for you guys. And we're going to come up with some more poll lives. Because I agree with Ashley. We had a lot of fun doing this. And the fact that you guys love doing it too means so much to us. Thank you for your participation. This is so much fun. You ready to tell them what the next one is, babe?
So our last one for the night, and I think this is probably the most controversial, it is What Lies Beneath. And we get it a lot that it's not horror, but let's read the synopsis.
It had been a year since Dr. Norman Spencer betrayed his beautiful wife, Claire. But with Claire oblivious to the truth, Norman's life and marriage seems so perfect that when Claire tells him of hearing mysterious voices and seeing a young woman's image in their home, he dismisses her terror as delusion. Claire moves closer to the truth, and it becomes clear that this apparition will not be dismissed and has come back for Dr. Spencer and his beautiful wife. That's a shitty synopsis.
That
it gives
really
away
is.
way too much.
Yeah, that's a really crappy synopsis.
I hate that synopsis. That gives away so much of the movie.
Yeah, like he betrayed her. Like,
yeah,
you don't need to know any of that because you don't find out any of that.
And that's like the twist of the movie.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish I wouldn't have read that synopsis.
Well, you already know what happened. So
yeah.
Abso-freaking-lutely, this movie is a horror movie. From, like you said, the suspicion of the next door neighbor murdering his wife to your husband is a murderer. It's got a lot of like psycho.
Oh, this is a total. Robert Zemeckis has even said,
homage.
Like, this is his Psycho.
Yeah.
It has the bathroom scene. A lot of the shots are very Psycho-esque. Another one that it's actually labeled a horror mystery.
I agree with that. Absolutely. You have the bathtub scene, the scene when they're in the lake, like it's absolutely horror.
Actually, it's one of the best jump scares too. In the
when
fence.
she's like, I think she knows that
She's
part.
starting to suspect something.
Yeah. Who?
Your wife.
Yes, and like her eyes turn colors.
And even Scary Movie 2 did a great parody of that. Or when they're in the water and she grabs Harrison Ford, like when they're in the lake.
That's what I said, the lake part,
Yeah.
And like the intensity of when she's like watching her neighbor, because you suspect her neighbor as well, like he's the one that's doing all this.
That's why I don't like this synopsis. It doesn't even say anything about the neighbor
at all. That's like pretty much the story before you get to the twist. But when she's watching him and then she loses him and then she sees him looking right at her, like that freaks me out. That stuff like that scares me.
Yeah.
Like I just got caught watching him.
I'm 100% on board with Ashley on this one. What Lies Beneath, totally a horror movie. And like I said, Robert Zemeckis, one of our, Back to the Future is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
He did this film, and he's even said like this was his love letter to Alfred Hitchcock and Psycho. Like that's
you can see it clearly.
You see it. It is so evident throughout the entire film.
Mm-hmm.
What Alfred Hitchcock, what Psycho meant to Robert Zemeckis, but it still has that Robert Zemeckis humor in there. Harrison Ford, Michelle Pfeiffer, like two amazing leading man and leading woman, and
they play off each other so well too. It's amazing.
It is so good. Not to say if I love The Crow or not, but my son's first and middle name is Brandon Lee.
Oh wow,
I love that. Henry Rollins, yes, love Black Flag, man. It's funny how you guys say, will you tell them the next one 5 seconds after the poll pops up already for us to read it? That's my bad.
Because I kind of had a long-winded answer to that one.
Yeah. That synopsis was like a trailer ruining a film.
Yeah, it really was. Horrible synopsis.
I never heard of Nicholas, it's fantastic.
Yeah, you have to check it out.
Be a marketer, anything but horror, which is why I saw it in the theater. What Lies Beneath is horror. The original trailer even pushes it as a horror. I've always considered this a horror movie. It's on my horror shelf. It's a haunting movie, but it's not the house that's haunted.
Right.
Yes. To be honest, Boozy, it wasn't planned, but Lee is that's really cool. At least I'm Ken the Third. My son is Ken the Fourth. She knew that when we got together. If ever had kids, that would happen, and she supported that 100%. Okay, I need to watch What Lies Beneath.
You do, yes.
You do, Nicholas. It's a fantastic movie.
I think you'll like it.
It's a hard yes over here. The atmosphere is great in the film. Though, to be fair, even if the house in What Lies Beneath was haunted, I'd still live there. It's a beautiful house.
Yeah, it really is.
And you do have those moments of, is the house haunted, when she goes to shut the door?
Yeah, and it keeps opening. Yes.
So, like, there are definitely those moments.
And then the water, the bathtub keeps overflowing, and
What's going on with that bathtub? So I'm so glad you guys had a good time with this horror.
Yeah, this was so much fun. Thanks, guys.
We are going to come up with a couple different poll lists, and I promise you we are going to do these more often.
Yeah.
Because this was a blast. Thank you guys all for your participation. You are the reason we do this. You make this so fun to sit and hang out with you guys and pick your brains and learn what you think is horror and what you think is not horror.
We need to do another Would You Rather. I think we could do a poll type Would You Rather.
Yeah, because then everybody can ask a question. We'll put that.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. In 2 weeks, we will do another Would You Rather,
guys. Because that's another fun one.
So you guys come up with your Would You Rather questions. Would you rather be stuck in a saw trap, or would you rather be at camp with Jason Voorhees? You guys come up with horror Would You Rather questions. We'll put them in as a poll. Thank you, Troy. 18 months as a member.
That's awesome. Thanks, Troy.
We will have a new member video up tomorrow. If you guys are not members, you can do that for 99 cents. The link is in the description. Get your Sledgehammer horror merchandise. That link is also in the description. If you are going to be in the Chicago area next weekend, not tomorrow, but next weekend, Ashley and I, next Sunday, Ashley and I will be doing a panel at Fan Expo in Chicago. A lot of amazing guests are going to be there. Mark Hamill, like fucking Luke Skywalker is going to be there.
Yeah.
We're hoping to meet him. But we'll be doing a panel on horror streaming and being a horror content creator in Chicago next Sunday. I hope you guys can make it out. We'd love to see you guys. Next month, we will be at Horror Hound in Cincinnati. And in October, we will be at Scarefest in Kentucky. Another two that we're very excited about. If you guys are going to any of these, please come and visit us. So one last, before we go, it's an overwhelming 76% agrees What Lies Beneath is a horror movie. And we'll give you one more for the road, Troy, just because you asked so nicely.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
So thank you guys so much.
Guys.
If you haven't already, Please like, comment after the stream, and subscribe. It does help build the channel more than you know. And follow Sledgehammer Horror on social media. Our links are in the description as well. But until next time, keep talking horror.
Stay who you are.
And we'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.